Hi, it's Dwyer. It is March 23rd, 2025. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, it's just one of those truths that you take a while to figure out, right? I hear when I was a kid, I was originally left-handed, right? My mom forced me to be right-handed. Maybe that's why I'm so confused much of the time. Well, it must be in the genes because my daughter is left-handed, right? I have a stepdaughter who is left-handed. Let's just say I've spent my fair share of time around lefties. Now, one of the things I've figured out, and it's not readily apparent, is that lefties actually are accustomed to fighting righties. Right? What throws them off is when they're fighting another lefty. Right? So, Gary Antoine Russell, unbeaten, fought his first southpaw in years, Puello. And of course, he loses to Puello. Couldn't figure out the angles. Right? Well, let me point out that this fight, Sebastian Fundora against Chordale Booker, southpaw against southpaw. Right, folks? Booker was having basic problems. This is the opposite of the fighter who comes in the ring and is fully prepared, knows the angles, understands he's fighting a southpaw who's front foot heavy, and that the champion, 6'6" Sebastian Fundora, likes to throw a chopping left hand. Right? You would have thought that Chordale Booker, as Fundora, is on his front foot, trying to walk him down, trying to throw his dominant left. You would have thought that Chordale Booker would move away from it. Chordale, who's 5'9", had to be looking at Fundora's body and had to think to himself, gee, now's the time for a body attack. This tall guy is giving away his height. He's right in front of me. He's throwing hard shots, hard lefts. He's not afraid to come deep in the pocket. I've got to give him a reason to back up. Worse yet, since he's 6'6", right, it might be hard for me to hit him in the head with power shots, right, because the 5'9" guy is, at 154, accustomed to hitting guys who are, let's say, 5'8" to 6'1". He's not accustomed to throwing power shots up at a 6'6" guy, even a 6'6" guy who gives away his height, like Fundora does. Well, instead, it looked to me like Chordale Booker was completely confused. Right? Training camp is different than a real fight. Folks, Booker panics. Look at the film here. I have the highlights in my favorites folder. How is a southpaw, Fundora, able to come up on Booker's right side, right? In other words, Fundora is setting him up for power lefts. How's he able to come up and park on Booker's right side and throw his dominant hand, chopping left hooks that continually land on Booker? It's even worse than that. Sebastian Fundora is the guest who comes to your home and then overstays his welcome. Fundora starts doing these roughhouse tactics where he comes in and he has a forearm planted on the neck of Booker. Right? Did Booker not think to move away from Fundora? Did Booker not think to go to his left? so he could get away from Fundora's chopping left hand? No, I believe Booker is confused, as they say. As Mike Tyson famously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Right, here is a guy, he's fighting the champion. It's clear this is a big event for him. It's clear he's frozen in the moment. Right, the champ comes over, nothing surprising. It's not like Fundora actually decides to keep his height and use distance and lean backward. No. Fundora predictably is leaning forward. He's leaning into the guy. He's coming over. What's he trying to land? He's not trying to land an exotic punch, right? He's not throwing right hooks to Booker's head. He's not throwing right hooks to Booker's body. No, he doesn't even have to use his offhand. He comes over and he's throwing chopping left hands. And Booker, who had to be thinking to himself, this is a title fight. This is the biggest moment of my career, seemed confused by the angles, even though he himself was a southpaw. Right, folks, it's one of those intriguing fights. We talk about fighters who show up prepared. We talk about fighters who know the other guy throws a good left hook and they have it blocked the first time. Or they have a hand up to prevent the guy from even thinking about throwing it up top. Here, too, you're fighting a 6'6" guy. Right? If I block Fundora up top, is he going to lean all the way over to try to hit me in the body? Unlikely. Right here, for some reason, Booker can't even have a hand up. He's not only getting hit with Fundora's left hook, but Fundora's even coming in with elbows. Folks, it's a ridiculous fight to watch. I don't know what Booker was doing. Boxing has a human element. Some guys, in their biggest moments, you fought for years. Now suddenly, this is your moment. This is your shot at the title. Here is the champ. He's not running. He's actually in the pocket, trying to load up on his dominant hand, throwing hooks to the side of your head. And Booker couldn't even bob and weave and throw shots to Fundora's body. Let me say, too, we talk about footwork and awareness and stuff like that. It's amazing how when you saw a Floyd Mayweather fight, the ring looked so big, right? You understood I can't just run over there and pin Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd's going to be moving. It's amazing when I see Dmitry Bivol, right? And Beterbiev is on his front foot chasing him. And Bivol's on his back foot and he's moving all over the ring. Right here I'm looking at Chordell Booker, the champ who has a lot of body to hit. Right? The champ who's too high volume to be defensively blessed. Right? Fundora's busy throwing shots. If his left hand is close to the side of your head, if he's trying to hit you, then that means that left hand isn't back for defense. Also understand, this isn't an Ali-Larry Holmes dynamic where the guy is tall, but the guy has a lean. Right? So you're throwing shots and you're in trouble if the guy times you and is able to lean back. Your shot misses, then the guy comes back with his counter on the side of your punch. Right here, Fundora's leaning forward. You're looking at this fight and you see the flaws in both guys. But it's Fundora who closed the show. Because Fundora was more prepared for Booker than Booker was Fundora. Right? Booker seemed lost against the southpaw. right? Fundora is able to land flush with left hands to the side of Booker's head. Booker doesn't even try to bend his knees and get low and, let the tall guy know, look, you're reaching already. You're really going to have to reach. I'm going to move away from your left hand. I'm going to be low. Not only that, I'm going to be hitting your body as you try to bully me. Instead, we get a fourth round stoppage. Instead, we get the kind of stoppage where Booker's face looks bloody. The ref has been patient, right? The ref's waiting for Booker to do something. And then the ref realized Booker has no ideas, right? And the reason he has no ideas is because this is his big shot. And he froze in the moment. That's the fight I saw. Let me hear about the fight you saw in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.